You have been told by my partner, Darshini, about the assumptions of Knowles' adult learning theory. To sum up, adults themselves have self-directing personalities, so they start to be responsible on their own learning. Their teachers play an important role in helping adults to think about the role of learner and skills in self-directed learning. Next, they have different kinds of experience which provide a rich resource for their learning. They also have a richer foundation of experience to relate new experience compared to children. Thirdly, adults perform their social roles during their adult years and resulting development tasks. These development tasks cause their readiness to learn and teachable moments, such as from a worker to a supervisor. Lastly, adults see education as a process of improving their ability to cope with life problems they face now, rather than children who see education as a process of accumulating knowledge and skills that might be useful later in life. Knowles' concept of andragogy has been widely adopted by educators from various disciplines around the world. Let's have a look on some implications for practice based on each assumption. The learning climate should be conducive to adult learning. Physical environments such as equipment and meeting rooms should be adult-sized and comfortable. In psychological aspect, there should be a spirit of mutuality between teachers and students which makes adults feel accepted, respected, and supported. Adults report that chalkboards are a symbol of childishness to them, but small groups in circles or round tables are more conducive to them. Second, diagnosis of needs. Children are told by teachers what they need to learn, but adults are deeply motivated to learn those things they see the need to learn. A model of competencies or characteristics needed to achieve a given ideal model should be constructed, so that adults have vision to learn. Provide some diagnostic experience such as critical incident processes, social drama, computerized games, laboratory methods, and simulation exercise enable adults to perform and get feedback, which helps them assessing the strengths and weakness of their performance. Thus, this experiencing of self-induced dissatisfaction with clear sense of direction for self-improvement is their motivation to learn. Next, involve adults in planning what they need to learn. Adults will feel committed to a decision they have participated in making it, with the teacher serving as a procedural guide and content resource. Conducting learning experience. Don't just let teachers to be fully responsible in teaching learning transaction. It is a mutual responsibility of adult learners and teachers. A teacher cannot really teach in the sense of make a person learn, but that one person can only help another person to learn. Last one, evaluation. Nothing makes an adult feel more childlike than being judged by another adult. It's an ultimate sign of disrespect and dependency. It is a process of self-evaluation in which teachers help adults to get evidence for themselves about the progress they are making toward their goals. In this process, the strength and weakness of the educational program must be assessed in terms of how it has facilitated or inhibited the learning of adults. Shift themselves from evaluation to self-evaluation or re-diagnosis. In the assumption of role of experience, experiential techniques and practical applications should be emphasized like what I mentioned, such as group discussion, case method, critical incident process, simulation exercise, field projects, laboratory methods, consultative supervision, demonstration, counseling, and so on. The more active adults play the learner's role, the more they are probably learning. Learn from experience, unfreeze the experience. From this learning, they are going to apply them to their day-to-day lives. Next assumption, readiness to learn. The timing. The sequence of curriculum must be timed so as to be in step with their development tasks. For example, an orientation program for new workers would not start with the history and philosophy of the corporation, but rather with real-life concerns of new workers. like where will I be working, with whom will I be working, what will be expected from me, to whom can I go for help, and so on. Next one, grouping. Heterogeneous groups would be preferable. For example, in a program of human relations training in which the objective is to help people learn to get along better with all kinds of people, it would be important for the groups to cut across occupation, age, status, sex, and other characteristics, which provide a flexibility of choice in learning. Next assumption, orientation to learning. First one, adult educators. They are different to children educators. Adult educators must be attuned to the existential concerns of the adults and institutions they serve and be able to develop learning experience. Next one, the organization of the curriculum. Because adult learners tend to be problem-centered in the learning, the appropriate organizing principle of adult learning is problem areas, not subjects. For example, instead of offering courses like Composition 1 and Composition 2, andragogical practice would name them Writing Better Business Letters and Writing Short Stories. Last one, the design of learning experience. Most appropriate starting point for every learning experience is the problems and concerns that adults have on their minds. In an adult educational activity, instead of what this course is all about, it would be appropriately be titled, What are you hoping to get out of this course? As a conclusion, andragogical process involves the following phases consistently, which are, first one, the establishment of a climate conducive to adult learning. Second, the creation of an organizational structure for participative learning. Third one, the diagnosis of needs for learning. Fourth, the formulation of directions of learning or objectives. Fifth, the development of a design of activities. Next one, the operation of the activities. And the final, the re-diagnosis of needs for learning or evaluation.